This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 660 for June 15th, 2020. HMU.
555 MONPIR.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpear.
Hello, fellow humans.
The Nimp is out of commission this week. Should be back next week. Speedy recovery, sir. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Behind the scenes, early access, all the cool stuff. We just finished recording Critical Misses Season 1, Episode 8. So we are almost done with Season 1. We've got 2 more episodes to go. I think this week will be Fast & Furious out for the patrons. So go check that out. Another divisive movie that we recorded probably far too much audio about. That is a problem that only gets worse as the season goes longer. So
yep.
Yeah, if you're looking for some
like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Oh, here is an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah. I think last episode for the 7th movie was like an hour and 35 minutes. So yeah, good stuff. Patreon.com/E1M1.
What does the Patreon do, Boston? Tell them what it does.
It helps me pay for this show and all the other shows on the E1M1 network. Thank you for asking very much, Moonpear, because it all comes out of my pocket, and this poops ain't cheap. So, Patreon.com/E1M. Thank you very much for your support if you're a patron, and if you cannot afford to become a patron of the show, totally understand.
Yeah, we get it, especially now in 2020.
Yes, we get it. 2020, the hell year. We totally understand if there's not a lot of disposable income right now. So if you support the show, all of us greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's dive into what you've been playing this week, Moon. You've told me you have a giant list.
I do, but luckily I can fly through some of these.
Okay.
Because we've already done a lot of recording and we're already running late. Because
a little punchy.
Understatement of the year. Okay, so we're going to start with Streets of Rage 4. That game is real fun still. I am now at the point where I have beaten it with all of the mainline characters. I think I've got 2 more levels left to go with Adam. So if you are a fan of the first Streets of Rage, particularly the way Axel played in the first Streets of Rage, this version of Adam is Axel from Streets of Rage 1. He fights the exact same throws, same moves, same everything. Like Axel is... His classic moveset is used by Adam in this, almost like Adam maintained his youth and flexibility, whereas Axel just got older and more hipster as he went along.
And more beardy.
Yes, 100% more beardy, because he never had one in the first place. Right. Dead by Friday, quick throw-out mention for Rob and T. He sat around, had a whole bunch of discussions, discussed the state of the world, things like that. And then quickly went down a rabbit hole into some strange discussions. I feel bad because I'm going to throw this out here. We were talking about sensitive topics.
Okay.
And one of the other people, Jason, who occasionally plays with us, jumped into the party right as I said something, which if you literally, very much like the joke we constantly make, where it's like, yes, officer, that's what I said, but it's taken out of context.
All right.
Right as they jumped in, I was saying something, and then immediately got the notification that they left the party.
Oh no. And then it's like, I always knew that Moonpear was a closet racist. It's like, no. Yes. No, I'm not.
Basically along those lines, yes.
Right.
And I immediately sent him a message because we all burst out laughing because it's we all know it's just it's
the most perfect timing for the wrong thing.
Yes. And so I sent him a message saying, "What's the matter? Too real B word?" At which point T gets a text message from him saying, "Oh, I'm at camp. That's one of my kids."
Oh no. You doubled down and it went real wrong. Oh no.
So yeah, Dead by Friday was fun. With,
2020, the hell year.
Yes, 100%. It's just like the worst thing is the way I was saying it, like, because the thing we were discussing was obviously everything that's going on right now,
right?
And I was talking specifically about how it's not okay to say the following phrase. And you said it in a tone of voice and a phrase which made it sound like I was joking and serious at the same time.
It's like that SpongeBob meme where you're going to say something mocking stupid.
Yes.
Right.
And then it was like, join the party, left the party. It was like, oh, God.
Oh, no.
And then I'm just going to double down on it by sending the worst message ever. And it's just like, to a kid. I don't know how old his kids are. I'm hoping it was an older kid, not a baby I've just swore at. But
it's one of those moments where it's like, I'm going to go offline and die of embarrassment. Nice knowing you guys. See ya.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it all goes okay. But we'll see.
So Dead by Friday hit a moon pier on Xbox Live if you want to join in.
Join in for serious conversations and then completely not serious conversations.
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? We haven't had that one yet, but join on in.
Weigh in this Friday.
Also, yes, it's a sandwich.
Yeah. We got more important topics to argue about in hell year 2020 instead of last year's fight.
Yes, exactly. I played a little bit of Apex, grinding away at that battle pass. Honestly, I don't even feel like I'm grinding because I'm literally jumping in and I'm playing 2 or 3 games and I'm bouncing.
Nice.
Like I'm not doing that thing I always do where it's like, I'm going to play it 9 hours every day for like 5 days straight and then not play it for 6 weeks.
You see a news story where it's like 2 weeks until the next Apex season. It's like, oh, I'm ranked 13. This is bad. Yes. I've done it again.
Like, I'm already up to rank 35 and I don't even feel like I've been playing it that much. And I've only really been playing it with my wife and our friend M because they're the people who are online when I'm available to play it. Right. So it's like, cool, let's play it then. I mean, if you see me online and you want to play Apex, hit me up, HMU, and I will jump in with you. Sometimes.
Oh, boy.
The top of the show, we had a warning that we were punchy. Right. The very top of the show.
Stuff's real weird this week.
Yes, it is. It always is, though. We say that literally every week.
Yeah, but, 2020 continues to get worse, and this is us as friends hanging out and sort of shooting the poops, so... Yeah.
But yes, Apex continues to be fun. There is a story this season. I don't know if I mentioned that at the start of the Battle Pass. Like, they have an actual story. Like,
interesting.
At the start of every reset week, you can go and do like a mission with up to 3, and it's just humans versus NPCs. Quick mission, and then at the end of the mission, it's this huge text log of story. So it's like conversations in the world. Watson's dead.
No. Okay.
You haven't even unlocked Watson, so you don't get to say that.
Right.
She's still available to play in the game, but in this little thing that's going on, she is a little bit dead at the moment.
Right. Just a touch.
But the story is genuinely pretty good. Like, I'm enjoying it. Like, my wife and Em are really enjoying it. There's like someone who is secretly knocking on the main group to the bad guy Revenant, and we don't know who it is yet. And the whole thing is like, as you progress through this story, you'll learn more and more and more about what's going on. I'm not going to talk about how dastardly their practices are to allow you to play those story sections. Because that's an EA move, I feel like, but but
it's cool to see them stretch their legs a little bit and try something. It could have just been, here's a new character, we changed the map a little bit, give us your $10, there's another 100 levels. But it's something a little different.
Yeah, especially helpful when the new character comes in with lore that she hates the last new character because they killed her family.
Nice.
So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now...
Getting into it.
Yeah. Get the intervention crew ready. That's all I'm saying.
No. Are we suiting up, Tennos?
We are 100% suiting up, Tennos. I needed something brainless. I needed
Well, I've
something.
got good news for you.
I don't play Destiny 2. Sorry, Boston.
Well, it's funny because my favorite Destiny 2 content creator, Dado, I got a notice the other day from Twitch that like, hey, Dado's going live. It's like, that's weird. It's like a Thursday. What is he playing? Warframe.
Is he playing Warframe?
It's like, no, Dado, no. Save yourself.
So it's been a while since I've properly played Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
It genuinely has. Oh boy, have they made so many improvements to this game.
That's exciting, though.
There is a quest line. There is guidance to where you need to go next to unlock the next quest line. I can jump in and shoot people and complete a mission or fail. It doesn't really matter. And just literally slide dashing all over the place and doing the triple, quadruple sky jumps into the sky and then slamming down with my stupid twin blades. And thanks to Twitch Prime and also the Game Pass rewards thing, I now have 2 additional Prime outfits.
Yeah.
So I now have 2 new Prime frames that I need to level up like you wouldn't believe.
That's the good stuff.
So yeah, I may have already gone up 2 more levels in my mastery ranking. Which I'm not even going to go into that whole thing right now, because if I start talking about mastery ranking, then we're going to talk about the whole game, and it's a dark path to walk down.
Right. I feel like it's so funny that, like I talked about, I think it was last week, where you and I are playing totally different live service games. I like that we're like hitting the most surface level stuff, because as soon as we dip our toe underneath, like at the bottom of that iceberg, it's like, all right, here's the next 2 hours about stuff about this game. Yeah.
We just don't have the time to like. We did a show for a year and change about the Binding of Isaac.
We've done our time.
We don't really need to add another show about Destiny and another show about Warframe and then another show about Elite Dangerous to the already ridiculous roster of shows that we do.
Someone already has a Tenocast out there. It's probably already in your podcatcher.
I have to Google it. I have to
TVGP's Suit Up Tenos. What's up? Episode 500.
The funny thing is, I googled Tenocast and the first thing that pops up is the voice credits for Warframe.
Oh, weird. So you're saying the name is available.
Which came out in 2013, Boston.
Warframe did?
2013.
Wow. Good for them.
But yeah, they've got a whole bunch of stuff in there now. There's so much additional stuff. And the mod cards used to just be flat images, and now they're like 3D hologram reflections, and you could rotate them and stuff. It's so cool.
Those jerks. I keep, every couple of months, someone will say like, oh yeah, I'm still playing Warframe. It's still really great. And they came out with this big pass, and I like side eye the game. I was like, I know you're good. It's like, no, I can't go down that road.
It's a good game. It's a genuinely good game, especially if you're in the mood to just jump in and shoot some fools. Like, it's the equivalent of the Earth Defense Force games,
right?
Where you literally you load those things up so you can shoot giant ants. And if you play it on the normal or lower difficulties, just shoot ants. Complete.
And if you want to get super deep into it, there's that game has it for you. If you don't, that's cool.
My favorite thing is always like jumping into defense missions where it's like, here is a point you have to defend. Waves of enemies will come at you. Because I'll load one, and it'll just be me defending this point, and it's like, oh, survive 10 waves, and then if you survive 10 waves, you can continue or extract. And then the more blocks of 10 that you survive, the higher your rewards get. To some really badass rewards for like the really top end stuff.
Nice.
So I'll just randomly jump in and start loading one, and either I'll start by myself or I'll jump into someone else's existing one, and this is the exact same thing that happens every time. People will join, or I will join theirs, and then all of a sudden I'm surrounded by ice blasts going off, by tentacles coming out of the ground, by fiery explosions, by poison mist. Everything in like an immediate AoE area within me is dead, and I don't know what's going on, and I love it.
Someone is somehow playing that Bard frame for some reason and really doing a great job.
Like literally, I couldn't tell you who's killing what. I couldn't tell you if it's me, if it's the other Tennos, if it's one of the 6 different types of pets that you can now have in the game, including like drones and dogs and all this other stuff going on.
There's a lot of
numbers.
Know.
I just don't know. All I know is people are dying, the wave count is going down, and we're getting rewards.
Nice.
And in the year of our hell 2020, this is exactly what we need.
Yep.
I need something where I've got a headphone in, I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to some music, and I'm just pulling the right trigger and watching things fall.
Helping your fellow Tennos.
So yeah, Warframe is back in the rotation, and maybe that's a bad thing.
Or a really good thing. Maybe both.
maybe a little bit of both. A little bit of good, a little bit of bad. Give me a little bit of the bubbly. Moving on. Okay, so yes, I like Warframe. Musum, maybe play the Xbox version a little bit more, Mr. Musum.
Wink.
I'm just saying. I'm here, and I'm available. Ready when you are.
Moonpier on Xbox Live.
Yes. Okay, now we're going to get into some potential problems.
Oh, okay.
One potential problem.
Oh, boy.
And one good experience. Great experience, which I'll save that one till last because that's a really interesting one.
Okay.
I played some more Space Engineers.
Okay. I like how you're just lining up like rapid fire problem game, problem game, problem game.
It's almost like I said to you, by the way, Theme Hospital just came out for the very first time. And here is Persona, and here is the new Final Fantasy. And by the way, 4-Job Fiesta starts tomorrow.
Please stop, I'm dead.
Yes. So my previous experience with Space Engineers was I'm going to try and do the tutorial mission and get confused and then not play it for a while. At the time, I said it might develop into a problem. Rob bought Space Engineers.
Oh, no.
So the blame for this 100% lies on Rob's shoulders.
That's right. He's peer pressuring you.
He is the one to blame because while Dead by Friday was going on, we're sitting there, we're having a chat and a giggle and everything else. And then just as I'm about to sign off for the night, Rob goes, I'm still waiting for you to play Space Engineers. Stop talking to T about installing Warframe. I'm still waiting for you to play Space Engineers with me.
Oh, Rob.
And he's not wrong. I did say if he wanted to play it, I would play it with him, and I haven't, and that's partially on me and partially on him. So, literally, Saturday, I did my morning chores, I did a whole bunch of other stuff. I hit A on the game. Rob was playing Control, and I've said to people before, I will not send you a message while you're playing a single-player game because I don't want to interrupt it. Because I don't want to be interrupted when I'm playing single-player games. Yeah. Especially one such as Control. # Game of the Year 2019.
That's right.
And I loaded up Space Engineers, took off my headphones, went outside, took care of some business, and was making myself a drink. Within 20 seconds of me loading up Space Engineers, I got a notification on my phone saying, Rob sent you an invite to voice chat. I was like, I literally just loaded the dude. Like, within seconds. So I took care of my stuff, made a drink, and it took us about 30 minutes to, number one, figure out how to play together. Okay. It's that kind of game, folks.
Right.
And then, number two, to start a base. So, if you're new to Space Engineers, just go to Custom World, Earth-like Planet, and then you can choose like a base to spawn at. Do that, because otherwise you both get spawned into drop pods, and those drop pods land randomly on the planet, and you don't know where you are.
Oh, okay. That less than ideal.
Yes, very much less than ideal. However, so we started doing the custom world, and we just to get a feel for the game. Just a feel.
Yeah, just a taste.
Neither of us know what we're doing. I've kind of done the tutorials, but it's still impossibly difficult to understand because I'm not into programming language, these conveyor belts.
Right.
Not my forte.
Right. Not yet.
So it spawns you at what it calls an easy base. An easy base, sure. So it's this place, it's got all the basics you need, essentially. So my suggestion to Rob was, let's use this as our home base, but start another base 3 feet away so we can learn what we're doing within safety range of the existing base.
Sure,
so
makes sense.
Treat this new thing as the new base as our quote-unquote base, even though we literally have a giant
base.
Yes, we have a giant base there to help us.
Right.
So we're literally learning by doing.
Mm-hmm.
By like, okay, so we're going to build these things. Oh, crap, we didn't build a floor. Because I didn't build a floor underneath it, I was like, well, we can't just have these boxes sitting on the dirt. We're not dirt engineers, we're space engineers.
That's
we need a floor, at least. So then I think, okay, I'm just going to start digging underneath it, and then I'm going to put a block underneath it, like go under, and then look up and plop the block underneath it, and then, do it that way. That didn't work. So before I know it, our haphazard, ramshackle boxes and solar panel has got, to quote Rob, a gangster lean. And it's all just leaning to one side.
Okay. And not great.
So I ended up just building a big floor and then deconstructing the things we were building to put them on the floor so they were just in the middle of nowhere. And very slowly, agonizingly slowly, we started to figure things out. We figured out conveyor tubes. We probably built the high-end stuff first instead of accidentally building the basic stuff first. But it's not my fault. We've literally got 5,000 steel plates over there just waiting to be disassembled and then reassembled in the base that we built. So, we're doing our darndest. And we got like the floor, we got some stuff going, we figured out power supply, we got wind turbines. We still don't have any way of producing oxygen, so...
Not as critical. That should be fine.
We're on an Earth-like planet, so that's fine for now.
Oh, okay.
But no, we ended the night feeling like we did something.
Right.
And in this survival kind of game, it's 100% a good feeling when you start to figure stuff out. And I didn't need to watch a 20-minute tutorial. I didn't need to watch all this stuff. We learned by doing.
Right.
And we were actually talking with T about the game, and I think me and Rob came to the same conclusion. Space Engineers controls make Elite Dangerous controls look simple.
Oh no. Oh no. That's real bad.
100%.
Oh no.
Because you've got the face buttons and you've got the D-pad. They're your main buttons. Every shoulder button and trigger is a different toggle as well. And then there's toggles for both bumpers. There's toggles for one bumper and then A, and one bumper and B.
So it's very much one of those things where it's like, this game is coming over from PC, and I don't have enough buttons on this controller, so we're going to have to get creative.
Yes, 1,000%. Just like Elite Dangerous was when it first came over. But the whole reason I waited on Elite Dangerous to come to the consoles is because, number one, it's my platform of choice, and number two, I feel like when a game is released on a console, it should have at least some modicum of finish, especially if it's been out for years on other platforms.
Yeah.
I feel like Elite Dangerous took some time doing that. It did go into early access, but by the time it came out of early access, it was a solid, finished game. It's just gotten better since then, but it was solid. It still feels like in certain parts, I'm 100% a beta tester for this game.
Okay. Right. Is it in early access, Space Engineers?
No, it was. It came out of early access very recently, which is why I actually bought it. It definitely still needs some love, but it's also got some real potential. There is an achievement for playing the game for 150 hours, and I quote-unquote jokingly said to Rob, we're going to get that achievement before we've even started thinking about building a spaceship.
100%.
It's got one of those types of gameplay loops that just tickle my brain.
Right.
It's like, come on, Moon, this is what you like. Do the digging, turn the things you dug into materials, turn the materials into products, turn the products into buildings, now continue the loop.
Got this build order. Ooh.
It literally has a build order, and you can program it to build from wherever you want. And it has remote in, so you can tell it to start building when you're not at base.
Oh, that's so cool. Man.
Space Engineers is really fun and really stupid and so complicated.
Yeah.
You can choose whether or not to have certain things interact with the conveyors, so like the setup.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting boxes down and connecting them with tubes and hoping things happen.
Right.
It took us an hour and a half to figure out why this stupid conveyor wasn't working. Like, it's basically a tube that you link two things and they share inventory. The reason it wasn't working is because we didn't have a conveyor box connected to the tube at both ends to allow it to send stuff backwards and forwards to each other.
Okay.
I only learned that because the base switch is standing right by us. I literally was like, why isn't this working? I'm getting frustrated. I'm just going to fly under the base and look at how they do their things to see if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Looking at the kid's test next to you where it's like, am I right? Oh, no, I'm totally wrong on that one. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I am a space engineer who copies the kids next to me test.
Right.
100% I am. But it's teaching me as I do it, and that's the important thing.
Right.
Like,
it's great that it's there.
Yes. The ability is there for me to see it, and hopefully the ability will be there to continue to expand our base and then destroy all opposing factions, because there's factions and a rep system, and
oh, no.
I haven't even seen anybody else. I don't want to get into a fight with the space pirates.
Right, just me and Rob.
The Spirates, like, they
literally
they have a clan tag and it's SPARITE.
That's so good.
It's like, okay, sure, why not? But yes, Space Engineers is good. Space Engineers is going to be a problem. I've been playing it for like 6 hours straight.
And you've done like nothing.
We've got a floor, 3 walls, and some power generators. That's it.
I don't even have a roof yet. What the hell?
It feels good. It took an hour to figure out how to play together. But anyway, yes, enough.
That's good.
Space Engineers.
I love it.
My final game this week is Eastshade. All one word, Boston, because I know you're going to write it down.
Appreciate it.
This is a game that was brought to my attention by a former video game writer, Pip. She's an English writer.
Mm-hmm.
She's left the video game field at this point, but I still follow her on Twitter because she gives such good, wholesome content. She talked about it about 1.5 years ago when it came out on PC. The best and most succinct way I can describe this game is it is a screenshot game.
Okay.
So it's what I've experienced so far, it's a relatively big open world. There is no combat that I've seen. It's you are a painter going to the place your mother really wanted you to go to, which is like where she grew up or something.
As soon as you said painter, I think I know what game this is now.
Mm-hmm. So you go, you get into a crash, like your ship is crashed, so it's at the bottom of the ocean and you're on the island with everybody else. And you interact with people. They're all anthropomorphized animals. So it's like a kid with like a ram's head or a woman with an owl's head, that kind of thing. But you just talk to people, you start learning about the lore of this island. And as you do, you can collect fabric, you can collect planks, and you craft your own canvases.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find inspiration. So like reading a book talking about this architect who's this incredible architect, but he's got a facial disfiguration, so he was kind of outcast. You get inspiration. And that inspiration allows you to take your canvas and essentially take a screenshot of what is on your screen, and you can resize like this square to try and get like a portrait like edge,
like the perfect shot.
Yeah, so you basically get like this square that you can size and resize of what you're looking at in the game, and then you hit the button and then you paint a version of exactly what you've just taken a screenshot of.
Interesting.
And there are quests. Like there was this pompous D-bag in the local inn who was talking about how great of an adventurer he was. And he was like, I'm such an adventurer. I could do with some paintings. You're a painter. Please paint me so I can show all my friends how much of an adventurer I am. And he's sitting by this fire. So I got like a good angle. I got the box just lined up right. So it's him sitting next to this fire, reading a book, making him look all cool.
Mm-hmm.
Took the screenshot, painted the painting, give the dude his painting, and then he gave me some money.
Nice.
So it's like, the term we use a lot is green sky games, or blue sky games, I should say.
Yep.
This feels 100% like a Blue Sky game.
Yeah, I was just watching the trailer of it on Steam. It's out on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. This is the game I remember seeing, and it's one of those games where it's like, oh, okay, I need to go play this game soon because it looks like something really different that I think would really click with me, and then I immediately forgot about it.
Yeah.
So
seeing her talk about it, I was like, I need to write that down somewhere. I'm pretty sure I probably have one of my many notepads. I have the name of it written down so I can try and remember to come back to it at some point. And randomly, I just saw a thing on my Xbox dashboard. It was like, Eastshade, download and play. I was like, oh, is that one of the games with gold? And I clicked it, and it was like, no, it's not. It's new and on sale. But wait, I recognize that trailer. I recognize that gameplay. This is the game that I saw like a year and a half ago on PC and really wanted to play.
Yeah, that's that open world painting adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was watching the trailer and sitting next to my wife, and of course. So we're sitting there, and it's like, this game, I was explaining to her what the game was. Like, this looks really cool. And while I'm watching the trailer, she's doing something on her Xbox. She's like, that looks cool. It's like kind of the thing I need right now. Like a good game just to chill. Just to wind down at the end of a day or whatever. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about buying it once the trailer's finished. I'll see if I can pick it up. She's already bought it and downloading it while I'm watching the trailer.
Like the end of the 3-minute trailer, it's like, yeah, you can download this now. Someone else bought it.
Yeah.
Just like
okay. By the time the trailer had finished, like it was already popped up on the bottom of my screen. Eastshade is ready to play. It's like, come on. But it's like, it's 2 gig. And the thing looks beautiful. Like that's a 2 gig game, and that game looks incredible.
Yeah,
like
it looks
the art
really
style,
good.
The lighting effects, everything. It looks so cool. And then I painted a big tower, and it looked amazing because it was all watercolors and stuff. And there's so much more depth to this game.
One of those games where it's like, please come to the next gen of consoles so you can get ray tracing on there. Like, I don't have a VR card that can really do it on PC, but like, I'd like to see like the sunlight coming through the trees with some ray tracing, and I want to paint that.
Yeah. It's honestly, it was relaxing. I enjoyed my time with it. I'm probably just going to end up blowing through this super quickly. Yeah. But all I've done so far is explore the port town where you start, and now I have to get to the city in the middle of the island, apparently. So I'm looking forward to seeing the difference between big urban environments and then, the port town with all the waves and the beaches and everything like that, just to see exactly what I can paint. But yeah, it's like $25, I think it is.
I just looked on PS4, it's $25, yeah.
And on concept alone, this is so unique.
Yeah.
Like, so that's fine. I'll play it. Give me that game right now. I'll let you know how it is in a couple of weeks.
So it's Eastshade, all one word, Eastshade.
Yep. And that is all I have been playing.
I played a little bit of 2 Point Hospital this week, and it went disastrously.
Oh, so it went like 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah, I failed the first hospital in like the sunny southern area the first time. It crashed and burned something fierce. I think I expanded way too fast. The problem that I'm having in the later part of the game is I have so many diagnostics rooms available to me that I feel like it's really easy to just like plop down one of each of them and say like, all right, well, here's all your diagnostic ones. But the patients, or maybe the GPs that are referring them to the diagnostics rooms, seem to favor one thing over the other. So it's like, I have 5 of these rooms, and only one of them has like a queue of 13 people. It's like, well, that's
it's a little bit dumb.
Yeah, like you could go to all of these places, and then I build another one of those, and then it seems like that still doesn't satisfy the queue. So it's like I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong.
The way I ended up doing that was like I would have one more GP's office than I thought I needed. So based on the size of the building, if I thought I needed 3, I'd make 4. If I thought I needed 4, I'd make 5. But the way I would do it is I would have GP's office, diagnostics room, GP's office, different diagnostics room, GP's office, different diagnostics room.
Gotcha.
And basically I would have it so that there was always 2 diagnostics rooms within easy walking distance of a GP's office.
Right.
And then, so for every 1 GP's office, I've got 2 diagnostics, 1 GP, 2 diagnostics,
Gotcha.
1 GP, 2 diagnostics. And then
Okay.
when I expanded out and made a different building, I would basically just copy the same layout. Okay, now I need 5 more GP's offices with 5 more different types of diagnostics rooms all in the same place at the same time. So
I'll try that.
helped me a lot, but I don't. Sometimes it seems to help, and sometimes it just seems to be, no, I'm just going to kick you in the teeth.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there's something I've done wrong, but I feel like if there's one thing that starts getting really frustrating now that I'm really deep into 2 Point Hospital, it feels like I wish there was a little bit more feedback on exactly why I have a bottleneck or why I'm going into debt every month. Because sometimes it feels like I'm doing well for years and years and years, and then like something flips. It's not even that I moved from 1 star level to another. It just seems to happen where I just get flooded, and I could have the same reputation or whatever, but the system within the hospital, not talking about the healthcare system, that's a separate thing. But the system seems to break down, and I don't always feel like I have a really great idea why. Even with like the financial overview screen, that still doesn't always tell me like, hey, you don't have enough nurses and people are queuing outside of those because you're having 5 nurses for 13 rooms. You just sort of missed it.
Yeah.
And I wish that was a little better.
A big one for me there is like, a lot of the times, especially with the money, I would find out that like I would have too many of a specific specialty, because I'm all specialties at this point. Like, if you don't have a specialist in something, I don't care. I ain't hiring you. Like,
you're not worth it. Like, you just have to train them too much.
You have 3 different things, like 3 different skills. Like, you've got psychology and GP and treatment. You go away. I'm not hiring you. Not a chance.
I see. You want someone who's got like surgery and treatment 1 and 2.
Yes, or GP 1 through 3. If you have like 3 GPs and 1 psychiatry, you
or like, I see. Okay, makes sense. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I went super specialist, and like my GP's office is like, it took some time because when I started, I'm obviously hiring a bunch of rookies, like, because you're never going to get a GP 1 through 3. You're going to get a GP 1 and 2 if you're very lucky. But I was just hiring a bunch of people with no skill points, dumping them in a GP's office that was busy and saying, get better faster because I need you to then become a specialist. Like, when
some of that OTJ.
Yeah. When I was struggling with that, it was like I cut down on costs so quickly because I was so focused on getting people specialized that I didn't realize I had 12 GP's offices and 19 GPs.
Right. And like they're all going to the diagnosis is going to go really quickly, but you got a bunch of dudes waiting in the hallway. We're like, where do I work, boss? Just like, well,
yeah. Literally, I had a staff room that was full every minute of the day.
Right.
Every minute.
It's just 7 doctors in there. It's like,
full.
All right, some of you got to go.
That's actually how I got my 5 million star, was because I cut like 5 doctors out and 5 nurses out.
Oh, right.
And then just suddenly my ROI was through the roof, and it's like, cool, great, now it's fixed.
Mine is always janitors, because especially in the later stuff where you have hailstorms and earthquakes and all this stuff, it's like I feel like if you don't have a lot of janitors, one of these natural disasters is going to come through, and suddenly you have 5 machines on fire. Yeah, it's just like, oh god, okay. Yeah. 2 Point Hospital is really good. One of those weeks where like I don't have 100% brain power to deal with fighting these virtual fires, and the hospitals were not working for me. So, yeah, hopefully this week will be better. I really want to stick with it because I'm far enough in it and I really like it. And I would like to see it all the way through to the end, but some of these hospitals are just really
so hot.
Yeah. And lastly, don't want to spend too much time on it because someone will yell at me again. Destiny 2's new season came out this week. This was the season that we didn't know about anything about until an hour before the season dropped, which, based on the reveal trailer, sure, now I understand why, because Bungie came out and announced a whole bunch of stuff, a least of which was the next 3 expansions for the game, because they announced 2020's expansion, Beyond Light. It's like, okay, cool.
This is the image I saw. Okay.
Yeah, and then like the screen goes black, and then another logo comes up, and it's like the Witch Queen. It's 2021. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's great. And then the screen goes black and comes up and says, Lightfall working title 2022, and it's like, oh my god, you guys are killing me. But that's awesome.
Learn from the game I forgot the name of. Anthem.
Destiny 1.
Learn from Anthem.
Yeah.
Don't announce a roadmap until you're clear there will be a road to map out.
Yeah, I think the other part of it, there's a little bit of sugar with this medicine, and all of that announcement stuff was the sugar, and the medicine was an article that came out. They've been talking about it for a long time, and we know that software development is hard. And Destiny 2, we especially saw this last season. It's a really large game, and they are having trouble continuing to develop it when there's so much in the game. We saw a lot of rather large bugs in the game, and they came out pretty honestly and said, like, look, a lot of these bugs were showing up because the effort to test everything in this game is so huge, because we have like 9 planets and 6 raids and all this stuff. Like the game is just really big. So we're going to cut a lot of it out. And by a lot of it out, they're like almost all the raids, 5 planets, and every activity that's going on them, and this other stuff and this other thing. And like, it's a lot of minutia that I don't really want to get into, but it's sort of this thing where it's like, we're committed to Destiny 2 for the next 3 years while we're moving a lot of the game. But look at all this cool new trailer stuff we have. So it's a little bit of like, a little bit of good cop, bad cop, which we will see how that goes over the next year or so, because this new season, last season was a low point for Destiny, the franchise. And you made the right noise. It was bad. The activity that was around was not great. The content that came out in the season was thin, to put it mildly. Great for me because I get to play a bunch of other games. But if this is your game that like you and your friends play, you had a bad season. This season so far is really great. There's a brand new there's a brand new open world activity that's basically like the pyramid ships are invading the solar system, like for real. They're all here, and they're...
So Stargate is taking place now?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Things are getting real bad, and you basically, like, there's a public event where you're basically playing Gambit out on one of the planets. It's really good. And the interesting thing, and I hope this system stays around, there's these things that you get from the activity called umbral engrams. Still hard to say. And you can get that from basically any activity in the game. And there's a thing in the tower where you take the engram and you can spend a little bit of currency to focus it into specifically the thing you want. So it's like, if I missed something from last season, I can say, I just want this type of gun from the last season, and there's probably 2 of them, so you get like a 50-50 chance. Or my armor isn't looking so hot right now. Just give me some highlight level armor. And then you go decrypt it, and it gives you the thing that you're asking for. So you can really focus your farming on a specific thing instead of like, I'm going to do this thing, and oh cool, I got the 7th shotgun in a row when I really need a machine gun. This is killing me.
So when you see currency, glimmer or currency?
Seasonal currency. So it's like 50 of this.
It's getting worse than Marvel puzzle quest.
It's really not that bad. Basically, every season...
Says the guy who's been indoctrinated into the system.
Well,
let me tell you about Warframe and how we have the credits. We have the different types of things. We've got formers, oricons, you got premium currency, the platinum. It's easy to me because I'm in the system.
So there's really, in Destiny 2, there's really only 2 currencies now. And there's some of the original stuff, like every vendor, every planet has their own materials.
Yeah, I remember that stuff.
I'm not really counting any of that stuff because that's been in there since the beginning. There's Glimmer, which has been in Destiny since the beginning. And then there's a seasonal currency. And it will only be around for this season, and it is only used for whatever activity is happening this season. As soon as the season ends, it gets deleted. Mm-hmm. And then next season, you have a brand new currency, but they all kind of essentially do the same. So it's like, they do the same thing. So it's like, oh, last season we had Warmind bits. This season we have Twisted Energy. They all have some weird name. But like, I need 50 of this season's currency to focus an engram to make it into this thing. Okay, cool. I got that. So it's really not that bad. But so far it seems interesting. There's going to be a lot of stuff that happens this season to get us to the fall expansion Beyond Light, where we will have a brand new element in the game, which will be really interesting because now we have Arc Solar Void. There will be Stasis, which is like an ice power.
Oh, wow.
And Destiny seems like it's kind of back on the right track. There is a really great mission to open up this season, which we haven't had for a little bit. And it seems like they're kind of, after a dry couple of months, it seems like they're kind of back on track here. So things seem good in Destiny 2.
We will see.
Yeah, this season is a real question mark. They really need a win on this season because for a lot of people, including like almost all of Destiny's top content creators, this season doesn't hit every single mark. Almost all of them are out, and a significant amount of the player base is out.
Well, it also helps the fact that, or doesn't help the fact that these Destiny content producers are dependent on that game for its content.
Yep.
If the content's not good, then their career might be straight down a poop hole. So they will need to go and find something else, like, don't know, Warframe.
That's right. Well, and a lot of them, I was talking about Dado earlier. He is usually often not like overly positive about the game. He's usually really fair about it. And his recap of the last season was like, guys, this sucks. Like, I can't sugarcoat it. I don't want to be nice about it. The season sucked. Everything about it just sucked. And you need to do better. And you got one last shot for most people. And if you don't get we're on season 11 right now. You don't get season 11 done right, most of us are gone. Just because you can't keep screwing up season after season and keep saying like, we did wrong, blame us, we're gonna do better. It's like, you've said that 3 or 4 or 5 times, and most people are kind of done with it. So, so far so good, but we'll see. Things seem good. Things seem like they're on the right track. So, no news is good news. If I'm not talking about on this show, it's probably fun. If I come back and I'm like, Destiny 2, then things are going bad even for me. But that's all I'm playing this week. So let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of June 15th, 2020. Out now, Persona 4 Golden came out on PC for $20.
Yep, and immediately shot to the top of the charts in Steam.
It sure should. If you have not played any Persona game, I think Persona 4 Golden is the best one. It is certainly the best version of Persona 4, and $20 for a game that's about 400 hours long is a pretty good value proposition.
Yes.
So,
and even though it's an old game, it's still a great game because, after all, every day is great at your Junes.
That's right. In this game, this version goes all the way up to 1080p. Unlike the Vita version, which is like 576p, whatever the screen size of that is. And the original came on PS2, so that's whatever, 360i or whatever. Persona 4 Golden is really good. Desperados 3 comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. 2020 apparently is just the year of games that haven't seen an entry for about 25 years just suddenly get a brand new game. So
yeah. Streets of Rage 4. I know I played another one recently. What was I playing recently that had...
Yeah, what was that? Brigandine is getting another sequel after like 17 years. So Desperados was always really good.
Vampire the Masquerade. Duh.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Boy, I'm looking forward to that second one. Whew. Good stuff. Disintegration comes out PS4, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Go watch a trailer for this. It's kind of crazy looking, like a 4-player mech-based cooperative shooter thing.
Wait, don't say the M word too many times or Musen will show up in chat.
Get ready, Tenos, for Disintegration. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. I didn't know too much about it beforehand. Burnout Paradise Remastered comes out on the Switch. Not much to say
Probably one
about
of the
that.
best driving games of all time. Period.
Yeah. I hope it performs well on Switch, because if it does, that seems like a really good platform for it.
Yes.
The Last of Us Part 2 comes out on PS4. I won't be getting this because I didn't like the first one. I know you won't be getting it because
I haven't played the first one.
Yeah, I was curious. I was hoping the Nymph would be on here to see if he was going to be getting it, but I feel like we haven't talked about it since this game got announced on the show, so probably not.
Honestly, like it's an expression currently shared by a lot of people I know who listen to the show, which is right now is not the time for The Last of Us Part 2.
I can't take a brutal game like this right now. In the best of times, I have a really hard time with just like this level of brutality, which I've been concerned about since that first trailer came out. And it's like, ooh, this is horrible.
I own a Plague's Tale and Senua's Sacrifice, and for 2 years I have been avoiding playing them because I don't want to put myself in a hole deeper than the hole I'm already in.
Right. And Hell Year, remember.
Yes, Hell Year 2020.
Yeah.
Following on from Frying Pan Year 2019.
Right. Right.
It's gonna be rough. And some of the clips I've seen quotations from like reviews and stuff, and it's like, that does not sound like a game I want to play right now.
No. And to me, it's a lot like Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's like, I disliked the first game so much, and I know Last of Us 2 leans more into the stuff that I didn't like, so I know it's not going to be for me. I'm glad it's going to sell well. I'm glad it's reviewing well. I want every video game that comes out to be good. They just aren't all for me, and that's okay. But like we've always said on the show, that's okay.
Yep.
And lastly here, One Step from Eden comes out PS4 and Switch. People have probably seen GIFs of this game. It is like a really fast-paced Mega Man battle network, and apparently it is incredible. So I'm glad that's coming to consoles. I'm assuming it's coming to Xbox One at some point because it came to Switch, if not this week, recently. So it seems like it's a small team that's just kind of putting it out on platforms as it comes out.
Is it a Japanese team?
I don't believe so. I think it's one of those teams which is like, it's just me and the person who does art. I do programming music, like one of those.
In that case, it probably will come out on Xbox, but as much as I hate to say it, Japanese companies don't seem to like putting stuff out on Xbox.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah. Speaking of which, today is the day, June 14th, Eternal Sonata came out today, 20 odd years ago or whatever it was.
The longest death sequence in video games, Eternal Sonata.
It's literally you are dying from the second you hit new game to the second the credits hit.
So good. All right, let's move on to news stories. Not E3 sort of kicked into high gear this week. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to heavily feature one and talk about some other ones in the future for reasons that we'll get into next. The Sony PS5 Games Showcase started off with a hot banger of a PS4 game, GTA 5.
PS3 game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, someone was talking about it on Twitter that this is one of the few games that has crossed into 3 generations. It's like this.
It's the only.
Minecraft has done it as well, and something else did too. And I had forgotten about it, and I don't remember what it is. They're showing like, hey, GTA 5 is coming to PS5 because of course it is. And then GTA, you get like GTA Online free in 2021 or something. I think. I don't know. And honestly, I don't really care. Because it's if you're playing GTA Online, you know what the deal is, and if you're not, you probably don't care about it at all.
Yeah, it's actually funny because me and my wife were talking about this like before I watched these trailers, and we were talking about how GTA 5 is such a powerhouse that it's going to cross that many generations.
Yeah, and
it's like she asked me like, how much money does GTA Online actually make them? And then when I watched the trailer I saw that, which we didn't know about. I paused it on that and I said, that's how much money GTA Online makes them. They are willing to give it away for free to get you in on the next generation too. That's how much money they're making from Grand Theft Auto.
GTA
Rockstar
5
gives away something for free.
GTA 5 was the best-selling game last month. Again. And GTA Online often every month makes them billions with a B. Every month. So, yeah.
Speaking of sharks, with their shark cards, those sharks over at Rockstar sure do like being sharks.
Oh, God. Anyways,
they're the real
let's move on to PS5 games. They started off a hot banger with a trailer I really like, which is there's just a fist coming off the screen, and then you see the Spider-Man suit, and I was like, yeah, Spider-Man 2. And then the mask blows apart, and it's Miles. And I was like, yeah! Like, that's... And it turns out to be Spider-Man Miles Morales coming out this holiday. Insomniac has said it's not Spider-Man 2, but it's like a side story sort of thing. So, I am...
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited to both play more of their Spider-Man games and play some Miles stuff, because that stuff is usually really great. They showed Gran Turismo. They showed actually a really weird, mostly silent gameplay footage video for this, which is great because it's just here's a bunch of Gran Turismo racing, and that looks really great. I mean, that's it's going
here is a look into how much the Gran Turismo star has fallen from the sky. Okay. I didn't watch these videos or these trailers until literally yesterday. So there was like a good 5 days or whatever it was of me looking at Twitter going from Nightmare Scenario and Nightmare Fuel to people talking about the PlayStation 5 stuff, then back to Nightmare, then PlayStation 5, back to Nightmare, as I doom scrolled my way into oblivion.
That's right.
And as I'm going through that list, not a single time did Gran Turismo show up on any of my Twitter feed. And I follow a wide variety of people who like a wide variety of games. Not a single one of them mentioned Gran Turismo.
I only had one person, and that was Aura Hack, the woman who used to do a lot of the art for Giant Bomb. But of course she's going to do it because she loves racing games an incredible amount. But yeah, it very much seems like out of everything,
nobody cares?
I don't think it's that nobody cares. I think they have that fan base now, and it's when a new like Forza game comes out, especially Forza Horizon, I think that captures a huge fan base. But I think as Gran Turismo keeps focusing, I think they keep losing more and more people, which is fine.
I think they've disappointed people too much.
I mean,
the actual mess that was Gran Turismo on this generation. They talked about it coming out at launch, and it only came out like 2 years ago, and only half the cars were done in super high res. Everyone else was just a basic B car.
Right. That was GT Sport, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's like, what a disappointment that was. So now you're giving them a whole nother generation to get it right. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, they've got a lot. They've got a lot to make up. One of my games of the show, though, for sure, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This, number one, I'm so excited about a new Ratchet & Clank game. I cannot communicate how much I love this series, and to see another one come out looks really good. I think for me, this was one of the more technically impressive gameplay demos of the show, because I think if you want to show somebody how fast SSDs can be, it is, I'm in this world, I jump through a portal, it loads for like a second and a half, and then I'm in an entirely different area that has an entirely different texture set. And like to be able to do that multiple times, I think looks really cool. And then they showed a bunch of gameplay where it's the weapon wheel and leveling up weapons, and it's Ratchet & Clank, which is great.
Yeah. And it has a female Lombax, it looks like, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm slightly disappointed that they haven't done it for a few releases now, but I'm disappointed that they're not going with the double entendre titles still.
Yeah, they're sort of half and half about that, and I think that's... Rift Apart is a solid title, but I think it's not like A Crack in Time, which is the quest for booty. Like there's
Going Commando,
right, Up Your Arsenal. Like those are all really good titles. Yeah, I don't know if that's something they're consciously doing, or sort of like, well, this is really the title that makes the most sense. But yeah. I'm
curious if they started doing that because at that time Sony was very much a Japanese company, and they were seeing if they could get away with it.
God, that reminds me. I can't wait to see the Ratchet & Clank Japanese artwork where Ratchet has those giant eyebrows. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. Next game, Square Enix showed off a new thing called Project Athia. That's a working title. I'm not sure. They also announced this for PC. Not a lot of info here. Just a quick thing. My future game of the year for next year, 2021, Annapurna announced Stray. This come out for PS5 and PC. I'm going to assume Xbox One or Series X as well. This is the game where you play as a future cat in a cyber city with a backpack on. So I'm going to love it because it comes from Annapurna, and you get to play as a cat.
And it's Housemarque as well, who've done some pretty solid games.
Housemarque is the next game. I don't remember who makes this one. Housemarque makes the next one that has a very, very unfortunate title. I'll have to look up who makes Stray.
Yeah, you are right. Sorry.
Yeah, next game is Returnal, which sounds dirty. Reading it and saying it, I don't like how that sounds. This is a Housemarque game where you play as that. It looks an awful lot. Yeah, it looks an awful lot like a roguelike where it's like, I try and I die again, I try again. I was like, oh, that's my business.
The funny thing is, like, I was sitting watching these with my wife next to me, and she started showing some very small hints of interest at this game. And I literally, because I'm wearing headphones, she can't hear what's going on. And I literally said to her, just so you know, from the way they're talking about this, it sounds like a roguelike. And she's like, I'm out.
Yeah, just tap out now. Yeah.
It's not for me.
I think that there's a lot there stylistically that I think looks really cool. Not a ton of gameplay in that trailer, so I think that's one where I like Housemarque a lot, and I've liked a lot of stuff they're doing. It's nice to see them back, but I gotta see a lot more on that. Sackboy: A Big Adventure was the next one, a 4-player multiplayer co-op thing.
I'm not gonna lie, my immediate joke upon seeing this was Made in Dreams.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those games where it's like, it is what it says on the tin. Like, it's a family-friendly game. My wife and I played a game on PS4 called Tiny Brains. That reminds me a lot of this game where it's like you're figuring out puzzles while you're doing some co-op stuff. It looks like it'll be a good time, but it's not. It is what it is. They show off Destruction All-Stars, which I wrote down Fortnite Destruction Derby.
When you say Fortnite, do you mean one of those games where people get knocked out and the circle closes?
No, just like the style of it, like that sort of cartoony,
yes, it
extended
has a
limbs.
Fortnite cast like style to it. Yes.
Yeah, like, and I was sort of down with it when it was showing like the Destruction Derby arena stuff, and then people started getting out of cars and running around and like avoiding cars. I was like, I'm genuinely confused about what you're showing me here. So,
Yep.
weird.
I'm probably out when it comes to that one.
Yeah, it looks odd. Next game is Kena Bridge of Spirits. This game looks real good. This is I wrote down, this is a game that kind of looks like Cameo, like the.
I've got a good description for you right here.
Sure.
Anime Overlord. Nailed it.
Sold. Yep. This is one of those games where it's like, I know people want to show like the new Call of Duty, and we'll talk about the new NBA game later.
No, we won't.
Like,
I skipped that, so let's just skip it.
Oh, well, you'll be happy you skipped it. But this is the stuff I really want to see, where it's like this hyper stylized, really cool looking, very crisp, sort of blue sky game. Like, this is the stuff I really want to see, where it's not this. I love Gears, and I want Gears 6 to look great on the Series X, but I also want the other side of the coin, which is this kind of cool, cartoony, stylized game. I think that looks really cool. Goodbye Volcano High, coming out next year on pretty much everything. This is the Sad Dragon High School game with the animated style. This is my stuff. This is my jam. This is me 100% of the way.
To give you an idea, as soon as my wife saw the trailer for it, she was like, "Oh, this is that game that Boston's been tweeting about for about 6 months. It feels like."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, 2 thumbs up for Goodbye Volcano High. Give me some Sad Dragons. I love it. Lorne Lanning showed up on the stream, which was really good because it seemed like Lorne Lanning had about 15 seconds left in his patience and was like, I got to bring a game and it looks really great. It's going to tug at your heartstrings. Have fun. See you later. And I was like, oh, all right. Lorne Lanning getting in and getting out. He showed off Oddworld Soulstorm, which is probably the game that gave me the most whiplash because it was very clearly an Oddworld game at the beginning. I was like, oh my God, who cares about Oddworld now?
Whoa. You take a step back right now. You do not insult Oddworld.
No, I cared about the first 2 Oddworld games, and I have not cared about anything they've put out since.
How dare you besmirch Munch?
Because, oh God. It's Exhibit A, why I don't care about Oddworld anymore. But then they showed off that it's just a new classic side view Oddworld game. And I was like, oh, okay, that is certainly not what I was expecting, and now I am really very interested in this.
And then all of a sudden it got real crazy, real fast.
Yeah, that's one of those games that I don't think I realized I wanted, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, man, cool, okay, yeah, I could get down for a new Oddworld game. All right, let's keep an eye on that one. A game that we've been keeping an eye on for a while, Ghostwire Tokyo, now has a release window of 2021.
This is the first footage I've seen of this.
Yes.
100% in. 100% in.
So this, I like a lot of this, but this cooled me on it a little bit, sort of unexpectedly. I wasn't expecting this to be first person, and I don't think that's bad. I love the style. I love the like Watch Dogs 2 digitization they have in some of the stuff. I really love a lot of the style.
Throw those ninja hand symbols out and get rid of some ghosts, man.
That's the stuff that, if they nail it, I know it'll be good. But if they don't, I feel like this is one of those games that just wouldn't click with me if the first person stuff doesn't get nailed. So I still think it looks really cool. I'm very excited to see more. It would be really nice if there was a demo out, but that's one of those games where it's like, okay, I'm still interested, but that's not really maybe what I was expecting out of it. Yeah. Next game is Jet the Far Shore, coming out holiday 2020. This is the new game from Super Brothers. They made Sword and Sorcery on, I think their first game was Sword and Sorcery. That was their first game. I don't know what this game is.
So I didn't know a thing about this, but
Okay.
immediately as soon as I saw it, it was giving me some real big Below vibes.
Yes.
And are they the same company who made Below?
No, Cappy made Below.
Okay.
But yeah, it does have very much that, like, because it starts off with like you coming out of a door and there's a whole bunch of people on this big grassy planet, and next thing you know, it's just like, we're going to space. 500 years later, it's like, wait, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Super Brothers does have a pedigree behind them, so I am interested, but it's one of those games just like, yeah, I mean, I like the style, but I'm gonna have to see it a lot more. Godfall for holiday 2020.
No, it's a MOBA. It's by Gearbox. No, get away from
Well,
me.
hold on. Again, I will remind everyone, Gearbox is publishing this and not developing it. So it's a Gearbox published game. It's developed by some team, I don't know. Gearbox, bless you. Gearbox, get a trailer together for this game that shows off what it is. Don't show me like a and like the sword swings are synced to the music. Still watching trailers, I still don't know what this game is, and this is the second time you have showed this off. You gotta do better than this, because I don't know if it's like a one-on-one Dark Souls game, or if it's a single player MOBA, or if it's a roguelike. Like, I genuinely don't know. You gotta do better on this, guys. Next game, Solar Ash. This is Heart Machine's new game. Heart Machine make Hyper Light Drifter. This used to be called Solar Ash Kingdom. It's coming out on pretty much everything sometime next year. This is the second or...
It's Heart Machine.
Yeah, like, I'm in. Like, this is the second or third trailer they've showed off for this. I still don't know what it's going to be, but I liked Hyper Light Drifter a lot, and I feel like they deserve some some expectations from me, and that looks really great. Surprise of the show, Hitman 3. Just saying, hey, January, Hitman 3 is coming out. Here's a super cool trailer, and then they showed off a little bit of gameplay from a Dubai skyscraper level, which looked really cool. Hitman 3.
Mission Impossible mask climb up the side of the building and everything.
So cool. Like, Hitman 3. You did it, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got to your notes on NBA. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's about what the trailer is. Next up, they showed off Astra's Playroom. This is going to be a built-in game that comes on every PS5 that's going to show off the new controller's features. I was expecting it to be a VR title because the
Astrobot was.
Astrobot Rescue Mission, or whatever it was called, was a VR title, and apparently really great. So it's nice to see that they're keeping Astrobot stuff around, and it's nice that they'll have something packed in to have show off the controller. Little Devil Inside is the one that seemed to catch a lot of people, including myself, off guard. This is the trailer where it showed the adventurer out in the field and like the bored rich guy in his mansion, and was kind of cutting between the two of them. I like the style of that a lot. I sort of don't understand what the gameplay is quite yet, but I think stylistically it looks good enough that it's like, all right, you're one of those indie games that I'm gonna keep half an eye on as it keeps coming out.
Yeah.
NBA 2K21. This was the every new generation, there has to be a trailer that comes out and somebody is just dripping sweat. This was 1 minute and 5 seconds of somebody just dripping sweat. NBA 2K21, that's coming out fall this year. Next up,
let's talk about the one that probably captured the internet.
Yeah, Bug Snacks. Coming out holiday this year on, I'm going to assume everything. This is the Octodad people, if you wanted a good idea of why it is so weird. I initially thought that this might be a new Viva Pinata game, based on the beginning of it, and it definitely has that like weird
Pokemon Snap was the vibe I was getting from it.
Yeah, it has like this weird, like cutesy, disturbing sort of vibe where you eat a pair of short ribs and your arms turn into short ribs, and like you see, it very much seemed like someone had watched the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies. It was like, that looks super cool. Let's go make one of them. And I would very much like to play this. I almost don't want to see more about it. Just like Octodad, where it's like, I get the thesis. I want to see for myself how crazy this gets. Yeah. So
I think I dropped the tray with my wiener arms might be line of the show.
So good. God. Bugsnax looks really great. I need to play Bugsnax when it comes out. Just like that's the perfect trailer you could put out for this game, where it's like, I don't know how to play this game. I don't know what's going on, but I need to experience whatever fever dream this thing is going to be. Demon Souls remake. That
exactly what it says on the tin. However, Bluepoint
is making it, which means it will. 99.9% chance it's going to be really great. The 4K.
Don't think they've let anybody down so far for their remake.
Have you seen the screenshots of it?
No. I've been avoiding it because I don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
I would recommend seeing the one screenshot, you know, that very first level, when you land on that bridge and you see that castle off in the distance. That's the first screenshot they put out. It's like, oh no, you made this game look really good. Like, oh no, this is I'm in trouble. So they didn't show a ton of that. They showed basically the remaster of the opening cutscene, which is super cool. But you don't need to know more on Demon Souls. That game's great, and most people haven't played it. Deathloop got a really long and really cool trailer. That's coming out holiday of this year. I'm going to assume on everything. This is the Arcane Leon game. Where the assassins are fighting against each other and hopping into other people's games and chopping heads off of robots, and it's an arcane game. And it looks like it has a blaxploitation vibe, which looks really great. Like that, Deathloop looks really cool. I think we were excited at the E3 last year, I think, when they showed the first trailer. And this time it's just like, yeah, man, all right, you got way more of a game now, and it looks like an arcane game, and this looks really great. So 2 thumbs up. Next game, the one that I got really shocked by is Resident Evil 8 Village. The VILL is an 8, by the way. This comes out 2021 on pretty much everything.
I realized that.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you had to point that out for me to actually realize that that's
Phoenix Down. Oh, right. This game looks
miles per hour.
That's yeah. This game looks incredible. Capcom has done some really great stuff this last gen. Like the DMC5 was an astounding looking game that I feel like didn't get enough credit. But man, this trailer looks so good. And it's like, okay, cool. Like there's a lot of trailers in this thing so far that have been like, yeah, this is a next gen game. Like this all looks really great. But that's one of the ones where there's like a lot of close ups on a lot of faces. And it's like, yeah, man, this thing looks really good. Like Capcom's doing some work. Good on you guys.
Speaking of looking really good, where is our Patreon goal update for Resident Evil 7?
What was the goal?
It was 100 patrons and Boston plays Resident Evil 7.
You got to start getting your money in, peeps. In hell year 2020.
You have to start adding it to the Patreon to make it real.
Oh god, yeah, I can't. So here's my complaint about Patreon. I can either set a money goal, which I like because I like being transparent about where your money is going to go, or I can set a patron goal, but I can't set both. And that's really frustrating because I value transparency a lot, but also it would be a good stream where I poop myself because I got scared. I mean, either one. Yeah. Patreon.com/E101. Next game that shows off is Pragmata. This comes out in 2022. I wrote down Moon Guy, Skeleton Cat, Little Girl. Yeah. No gameplay there. I don't even know who's working on it. Maybe should save that for next year. Another, just a hot banger. Horizon 2 Forbidden West looks stupid good. Like, it is nice to see a lot of people say like, "Hey, that's a CG trailer, right?" It's like, no, that was definitely not. Lance Reddick is back, which is great because he was very good in the first one. And this for me is a day one purchase because I 100%ed the last game, and even on the hardest difficulty, and I really like these games, and I'm super excited for a second one, even though there looks like there might be some underwater sections, which is never great in a video game. But game looks
had a rebreather on.
Yeah, which I mean might help a whole bunch. I almost just dropped a huge spoiler about Horizon Zero Dawn. But yeah, go play the first one. You have enough time before this second one comes out. The first one is really good. And then I was joking. We're talking about there's a Not E3 2020 channel in the Discord now, mostly to keep spoilers for press conferences out of the general channel. And also we've been sort of, as a community, live watching stuff as we've been going on. I predicted while we were watching, they had these transitions. There were like 5 seconds in between where it's like the letter X comes out and there's like digital stuff underneath. The whole time I kept saying, I really hope that this black to white messaging and like this blue underglow stuff means that they're going to show off the new console and just like drop the curtain after they do that. And boy, they sure did show off the 2 new PS5 consoles. One with a disk drive and one without. They showed off the peripherals, the controller, a charging station, HD camera. I don't know why, but I think the PSVR works with it, maybe. Media
it's so
remote.
that everyone can play that card game where they've got to put the camera on the stand and point at the floor and then put the cards on the map.
I think I have a copy of that. I probably do. It sounds like something I would buy. A media remote, which why, and new headphones. No price, no release date other than later this year. What do you think about how it looks?
I think it looks, from a stylistic point of view, I think it's a cool design.
Yeah.
I do. I like the way it looks from a visual perspective. From a, this is going to go in my entertainment stand, I think it looks dumb.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like, the specs that people are putting out there with like the height, that thing is taller than any Xbox One Series X.
Look, it looks very big.
Big machine.
Yeah. For anyone that hasn't seen any, basically what people are saying is a disk drive is going to be this essentially the same size across all platforms because a disk is the same size. A Blu-ray disc is the same size. So you can sort of extrapolate a general size across platforms based on how big the disk drive is. Big. Like that thing looks really, like not fat, but really tall.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've done some interesting work visually. Yeah. But if you have to get that big to get all of your components in that box, that's a little scary on the engineering side. If
it has to get that big to get cooling in there, make it as big as you like. Make it a 12-foot long one. Whatever. I'll take it up the whole my whole entertainment center. Whatever. I think I'm a little bit cooler on the design than a lot of people are. I think what excites me the good.
I was just gonna say, like, I like the way it looks. I don't like the way it looks in my house. It
looks like a cool spaceship, but
an art piece or an air conditioner or something like that. Cool.
Yeah.
But a console?
To me, I think the thing that's really exciting is both consoles look completely opposite from each other. I like that both of them aren't wacky and both of them aren't black boxes. Like, I feel like the Series X is going to look a lot better once you get it in your hands, like you get it in your entertainment center. I think especially the grill on the top, I think is going to look really sharp. And then on the other side, I think the PS5 looks interesting from like here's a console with like some curves on it. Like it has a cool, like winged design.
Got that swag.
Right. But I can't really stack anything on it. You know, the immediate question everybody and myself had was, can I lay it down, show it to me show it to me asleep, like put it on its side? Is that does that hurt the console? It's okay. But I think if they want people to talk about the PS5, they sure nailed that because that's all everyone's going to be talking about until the PS6 gets unveiled. But it's definitely interesting. I'm a little worried about the price because it's this standoff between the two companies.
Sony's not going to go first. 100% they're not going to go first on this one.
I don't think they can. I'm assuming that the disc-free, the all-digital version will be cheaper than the standard PS5. So? I think that's a safe assumption. But I guess we'll see, and I guess we'll see exactly how expensive that is, because I'm getting worried that their big showcase for this didn't release the price. The good thing is Microsoft has its own showcase, the Xbox 2020, next month in July. So I sort of expect them to at least give us a release date, if not a price window, like a price range. But I think overall this was a really great showcase because it was a mix of core games and family games and dark games and friendlier blue sky games and indie stuff and AAA stuff. Like there was pre-rendered stuff and there was gameplay stuff. It had a little bit of everything, and I feel like that's a little bit where Microsoft fell down a little bit on their previous one, which was everybody wished for a little bit more gameplay on theirs to see the power of the console as opposed to game announcements, which is still good. But I feel like Sony really nailed it on this one, and it wasn't 3.5 hours long, which kudos. Thank you.
Nope. It was 2 hours and 46 minutes on YouTube.
On YouTube. Yeah. Just cut the stuff out, Sony. Yeah.
It's not that hard. I could do it. Hire me. Pay me 25 grand and I will cut that video.
Give me the snippet tool. Yeah. What did you think about it overall?
I thought it was okay. Like, I mean, honestly, the big thing for me is there's not a lot of games there that spoke to me. And that could just be a year of our hell 2020, like Mindspace. There's
no joy left in this world.
No. But I've been
except for Bugsnax.
I was feeling that since I was like 15.
Right.
It's like nothing really jumped out to me. Like I stopped playing a lot of these games a long time ago for a bunch of the sequels. Right. And the ones that did jump out to me were the ones that you'd expect to. Stray, I love a good cat.
Yep.
Like, love a good cat. Spider-Man Miles Morales, give me all of the Spider-Man games because 2018 was incredible. Like,
and nice to see Insomniac doing that again.
Yeah. Like, I don't care about sports games or the little mini games. Hitman 3 was a good surprise, but a lot of this stuff I need to wait and see. I mean, I'd say out of everything there, if I was going to go day one buying for any of those games, you give me 3. So 3 day one buys, you go. What do you buy day one?
Ratchet & Clank, Horizon 2, and Bugsnax. I mean, I'm almost all of these games in this list I'm very interested in, except for like Gran Turismo's fine, Sackboy's fine. Like those are sort of the ones that are not really for me, but like it's just banger after banger for me where it's like, cool, this is a great indie game. Here's another great game. Hitman 3, great. Bugsnax, cool, whatever. But yeah, those two and Bugsnax are probably my knee jerk. I gotta have these.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going 3, it's Spider-Man, it's Hitman, and it's Resident Evil 8. Like, but the thing about those games is Spider-Man I'll only be able to play on the PlayStation. That's fine. If/when I get one, I'll play it. Everything else was kind of
Or they're coming out on Series X.
Yeah.
You can't tell me Resident Evil 5 is a PS5 exclusive. And they didn't say that, but that's coming out to Series X.
There's a lot of these cases they are deliberately not saying also coming to this, which tickles me because Microsoft then tweeted out about like, great to see some new games from our friends.
Right.
Here are the ones
also
that are coming to our
Series
platform.
X. Yeah. And I mean, I get it from a marketing standpoint, but it's nice to see so many of these games come out with trailers and be like, yeah, it's coming out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X. Like it's coming out for everything. Which is
it was a solid showing.
Yeah.
Like the price not being announced is a bit of a disappointment. This should have been the moment to talk about the price. It should have been. Get everybody hyped up with those videos and then hit the price at the end.
Yep.
Ideally hit it low and you'll be good. But
or at least like take the edge off of it by saying like, I know it's expensive, but like look at all of this stuff that we just showed you. That's all coming in like the next year.
Yeah, I think that from all the scuttlebutt you're hearing about how difficult that thing has been to manufacture and how expensive they've had to manufacture it, I cannot help but think they are waiting for Microsoft to make the first move. Microsoft need to name a price before they will. And I think if Microsoft are going to do it, they can't afford $600.
No, they need to like come out of the gate and be like, here's our new console, $450. What's your move? And it's like, oh no.
Yeah, they need to come out and say, here is the Xbox Series X, it's $500. Here is the Project Lockhart, it's $400. Go.
Yeah, your move. Yeah, I'm very excited for Microsoft's one next month because I like that the same day they did their previous one, they came out and they said, like, look, we heard you. We said it was going to be a gameplay one. We misspoke and there was some pre-rendered stuff in there. We hear you. We'll do better next time. So I feel like their next one is going to be primarily focused. They should be showing Halo Infinite is definitely going to be there. They've already verified that.
I think Spencer will address that whole ordeal as well.
Yeah, and like most of their first parties are going to show off a lot of stuff. So like I feel like that one's going to be a real banger for Microsoft. So very excited for that one. The PC Games Show also came out. Again, 3.5 hours of games. Like, on the one hand, I love getting these short interviews with indie devs. I love getting deeper dives into some bigger games that they're announcing. I love that they're just showing like 400 games that are coming out in the next 6 months.
I still haven't even watched the cute video roundup, and I really want to.
Yeah, it's just, there's so much stuff, and I cannot. We'd have to have a separate episode just to cover that. So go check out like a trailer roundup. You know, that's it. A lot of that stuff looks really good. Next news story, Control is coming to PS5 and the Series X. That is literally all we know from Remedy. I'm really excited because people on the PC side said that ray tracing made a huge difference in that game. I would seriously hope if you're going to bring it to the next gen consoles, it has ray tracing in it. And if it does, I will happily play Control again because Control is real good.
Yep.
And last news story here, one for you, Moon. Space Crew is announced. It's the sequel to Bomber Crew. And it has like a top. FTL. Yeah, it 100% looks like FTL, which is really great. Comes out September of this year for $20. And maybe that'll be on Game Pass. That would be great. But they didn't announce anything. But yeah, Space Crew looks
Bomber Crew was shockingly good considering they just loaded it up on a whim.
Yeah. And that's all of our news stories. And my voice is going very quickly, and it is shockingly late. We've been reporting for 2 hours. Okay. It's just clocking in another 2 hours here.
No. Correct that. 2 hours for this show.
Yes, this is our
been recording for like
third
5
episode
hours.
Today. Yeah, it's been a lot. So we have 4 questions. We're going to carry those over to next week because I have to go eat dinner. And like we both have to see our family at some point today, which would be nice. You know, we love them and stuff. But we would love for you to visit tvgp.tv, everywhere to find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page. As we talked about at the top of the show, patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Behind the scenes, early access, all the good stuff. Help me pay for the show. God, this stuff is expensive. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you patrons and all of you non-patrons. Everyone that listens to any of our shows.
You're just kind of okay.
Yeah,
tell a friend. Like, legitimately, just tell a friend. You'd be surprised about how much, like, especially now with people still being indoors, outdoors, social distance, and everything else that's going on. Literally, tell a friend. Say, hey, have you ever heard a podcast before? Oh, you have? We'll try this one. Oh, no, you haven't? Let me explain them to you. Here's about
1,000 episodes for you to listen. Start from like episode 5. First couple are a little rough.
No, start from episode 1. It's hilariously bad. I did the same thing for the Banffcast recently, and oh boy, you can hear the quality change as time goes by.
12 years here for the 20 years. Feels like 20 years. 12 years here for the show, almost 13.
Is it 12 or is it 13? Oh,
it'll be 13 this November. It started in 2007. So, been a long time. As I just turn into ash and blow away.
We'll get your little one on to replace you.
Yeah. She likes playing Animal Crossing. She likes fishing, so she can just slot right in here. Still playing. This is the last week for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I got the title right this time.
Game Club.
Yes, for Game Club. And man, I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye. I forgot I was supposed to do a foghorn.
There you go. Contractually obligated.
That's why you pay me the big bucks.
That's right. That's right. We make the big podcast bucks. 0.00 million. All right. Hit me with your titles.
Okay. The Hell Yeah. It was an ongoing theme. Double Down. HMU. Suiting Up Tennos. Intervention Crew Ready. A Dark Path to Walk Down. Probably a little bit long.
Yeah.
Gangster Lean. Someone Will Yell at Me. Don't Besmirch Munch. And Wiener Arms.
Don't besmirch Munch is a really great sentence. I have Hellier, which I've put a check mark next to because I feel like we said it 20 times. A Little Bit Dead, Spirits, and HMU. I feel like Hellier is kind of like the given, especially because I really like it. It sounds like a metal album name.
Yes, it does. But I feel it's also like contrary to what we do. Like quite frequently, we try not to remind everybody that everything's going terribly.
The year of our Lord Hellier.
I really like HMU, and I really like Don't Besmirch Munch because that's a deep cut.
I feel like I like HMU a little bit better. I'd vote for HMU.
You have to say it that way, though.
HMU.
There we go.
Okay.
Actually, you don't have to, because I don't know, would it be funnier having it that way in the title and then hearing it the other way? Or hearing it the same way in the show?
I feel like we should save the singing version, the karaoke version for later.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I guess I'm ready.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is that video. Nope.
Yep. There we go. That's the punches.
Take 2. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 660 for June 15th, 2020. HMU.
555 MONPIR. I deliberately misspelled my own name, by the way.
I think 555 MOON would also be really good, too. I wonder if that's shown up in a movie somewhere. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for listening and watching. We appreciate every one of you. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
And we can stop recording.